Hi, so everybody, my name's Paul Jordan, and I'm delighted today to be interviewing Shilleen Wilson. So, Shilleen, would you like to give us a bit of background and tell us a bit about yourself, please, for the audience?
Yeah, hi Paul. So I am a wealth and success coach. I I business is quite has always been quite close to my heart. I think my first business was primary school selling friendship bands in the playground. So that was my first one of my early businesses that I had,
Oh,
and
wow.
I went on to do a business degree. And then, so I always knew that having my own business was the thing that I wanted to do. And then 7 years ago, I quit my corporate job and decided to focus fully on my own business, which was property investment.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've always been quite an ambitious person, really driven, always had a lot of drive, and always had goals and always setting intentions and had desired outcomes that I wanted to achieve. And I got to a point and I just felt like I just got stuck in taking the real action that was required to get me to where I wanted to be, stuck in my income. It's like there was a ceiling, like a set point that I'd hit, and I just struggled to get beyond that, regardless of the goals that I was setting. Year upon year, I'd set goals, and then year upon year, I just didn't seem to be hitting those goals and not really getting to where I wanted to be. And it was really frustrating. I felt so frustrated, and it was quite disheartening as well. Um, Personal development is also something that was always close to my heart. I've always been learning, always had a thirst for knowledge. And I decided at that point to maybe just focus my energy more on personal development, review everything I'd learned in the past, and look at what I could put together to really get beyond this stuckness.
Yeah.
And I actually managed to do it. I actually managed to put something together that actually worked and cure me, you could say, cure me of my stuckness.
Wow. Well done.
Yeah, exactly. And I was able to increase my income. I was able to get past that limit, and I was able to get to higher levels of success as well. And that is what I then use to create my coaching business. And that's what I do now. So I help people that work for themselves who are feeling stuck, and I help them to identify and clear their money blocks and their success blocks so that they can get to their next level income, their next level sales, and their next level of business. So that's
Wow.
why.
Amazing. That's really interesting. I mean, how do you kind of it's good that you had the self-awareness and the self-recognition of being stuck. And I'm sure there's many people out there, including myself, in different parts of life that can relate to that situation. And it's one thing, that's half the battle, isn't it? When you actually have the self-awareness of a problem that you have. But the second part of the battle is actually, well, how do you go about fixing it? So how did you manage to learn to fix yourself, for want of a better phrase? Because that's quite hard to do, isn't it? I would imagine.
Oh, it's definitely hard to do. It took me quite a while to do. It took me, I'd say, a couple of years to really master. And
Okay.
because personal development is something that I've always been interested in anyway, I'm always sort of focused on how can I be better? How can I develop myself to be better so that I can, achieve higher limits to get to that next level? So I'm always trying to better myself anyway. That's been something that I've always done. So I suppose because my mindset is like that, in conjunction with that, it's more about sort of, okay, let's really dig deep and sort of apply what I've been learning and try different things. And it's really was just experimenting, really, I suppose. It was just experimenting. And what took me such a while to get there, it took me a good couple of years, or you could say longer than that, because I've been on a personal development journey my whole life. So, and I've taken bits of my whole personal development journey, little bits that that have worked, and I've put them together to create this. So now I'm able to work with clients and make it happen a lot quicker because of the experience I've had, and now knowing what works to clear the stuckness.
Brilliant. That's so interesting, because I think so many people in business and in life generally, we've all got a set of skills, maybe technical skills or knowledge or whatever it might be, but aren't always able to know how to grow that into or scale it, perhaps is a better word, to scale it into a business. And I've always found it very fascinating looking at some very successful people such as, you know, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Sergey Brin, Larry, all those people. And you think, you know, we've both got fingers, we've got hands, we've got the same body, the same molecules, but it's the actual program that's running in their mind that's so different. And we're all, you know, a lot of people, I know I've made references to the average person, but certainly in the UK, if you look at what an average person would be, they might have an average wage and an average house, and the children are going to be brought up in that same environment and that same exposure to all the thinking of parents, like being careful with money and don't do this and don't do this. So millions of people throughout the world are conditioned by their parents and their school to have the same kind of mindset, you know, and not to sort of think beyond that. Whereas I think people that are brought up in a very wealthy family, you know, one could say they have a bit of a golden spoon in their mouth or a silver spoon, but more importantly, they're brought up in an environment where they see success, and that just comes naturally to them because they're not exposed to the limitations of an average family that think, oh, you've got to watch your money here and don't do this. And to them, success is just part of the environment they grow up in.
Exactly.
So I find that really interesting. I mean, there's always a few exceptions. I mean, you get the people that are kind of born in very impoverished environments that hardly have any clothes and not enough food, really dreadful upbringing, although they've had very loving parents, which is very important, of course. But despite being in that really dire straits as a youngster, have gone through life, and sometimes they've bucked the education system to succeed. And I'm always curious where they've got that mindset from, because it's probably not from their family environment and it's probably not from school, but there's still something in them that's kind of given that an amazing determination to succeed. Really interesting.
It is interesting, and a lot of my program actually delves into that. I find that my program is different because I don't just target things from the mindset point of view, but also from the body point of view. So we all have experiences in our past. We've all had experiences and gone through things, or maybe suffered traumas, maybe little traumas, larger traumas, and they've all had an effect on us. They've all affected the subconscious mind that delves to keep us safe, so prevents us taking the actions that may be necessary to reach where you're trying to get to, but you're not doing those actions because your subconscious is trying to keep you safe. But in conjunction with that, see, I believe in something called the mind-body-money connection. So what I believe is that with these experiences that we've had in the past, or traumas, that the body stores the energy, residue energy from these experiences as well. So the body works in conjunction with the subconscious mind to keep us stuck, to keep us where we are, even just so that we don't reach where we feel that we want to be, we feel that we desire to get to in our goals and reaching them. So I work with those, and that's really, I think, what makes my work different, that I really approach it from an energetic level. But also a lot of my work, most of my work, I use a proven mind-body technique called EFT tapping. And basically it's about tapping on the meridians in the body that they use in acupuncture to really get that energy released out of the body. But I don't use the general form of EFT tapping. I use a more unique style, pinpointed version of it. So it really does get to the root of the money blocks, the success blocks, and really removing them out of the body quickly so that you can see results. And another thing that I'd say that really makes my work different is that I take the standpoint of, I approach my work from an energetic standpoint, but I tap into the energy within the chakras as well. So although we've got the energy in the body that's preventing us, we've also got energy stored in each of our chakras. So I also incorporate a lot of that as well to really clear the energy that is blocking us at a really deep level.
I think that's really interesting, because I suppose later in life well, let me rewind. Earlier in life, I was always very skeptical of chakras and spirituality and what goes on in the mind. You know, I was very dismissive of it, and I thought, you know, it's just a load of rubbish. But as I've been through my own journey in life, and hypnotherapy and things like that, you know, I've done a complete U-turn, and I realize now how important it all is, because no matter how good we are at our technical skills, it's what goes on in the program up here that gets the results. And it's kind of quite abstract, but it's also interesting that people like yourself have been able to identify what it is that needs to be done to get people unstuck and move forward. And it's there's a lot of talk about mindset and various other things, but there are so many people out there that I'm sure would really benefit from this. And because I find this just so interesting, as I say, what distinguishes the person who's very, physically capable, intellectually capable, very highly qualified, another person who may not have those qualifications, but is incredibly successful because of the way that they think.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear that people can be changed by training, because I think a lot of people think, again, mindset, they have a bad result and they speak very negatively about themselves, which is very unhelpful. And rather than using it as an opportunity to identify, okay, well, that didn't go as well as I'd like, but maybe if I seek some help or some coaching, I can move forward. They kind of I wouldn't say they're introvert, but they accept that the bad result is because of who they are, rather than looking out to think, okay, well, I need some help here because I didn't do very well, but I need some help and I know that I can get there with some external help.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that, because we all have that, and we all have these programs running, these inner programs running within us, and you're not alone. So anybody that is feeling like that, you're not alone, because we all have it, but some people don't talk about it. So you maybe not aware that everyone experiences that. The difference is that you can't actually tackle it on your own either. You do need somebody else to sort of identify those blocks and the inner programming that you've had, because you've spent your whole life having this inner talk. You're used to it. So you're comfortable with it. So you need an outsider. Yeah. So you really need an outsider to help you really identify those money and success blocks, and really help you identify them so that you can clear them once and for all.
Because I think that I think people talk about affirmations, but I suppose the more we repeat our behavior every day and for years and years, the more we're kind of self-affirming that we, whatever it might be, can't do X, Y, Z, or will never be PQR, because we're kind of running that program, and it's kind of it's a downward spiral, because you're kind of constantly reminding yourself of that same experience, and it becomes really deeply ingrained. So without something to kick that, an external influence to kick that, it's just going to continue, isn't it?
Yeah, you're affirming in the negative sense. So we talk about affirmations positively, but all of us have this, the program that's running is actually affirming negatively. So that's a constant program that's running within us. So yeah, you're totally right. I mean, I believe in affirmations. It's, a good thing, and it's something I've used in the past. And I think things like, a lot of my clients are people who have had experience with the law of attraction, or using affirmations and trying to manifest things as well, some of my clients. And they find that once you clear the blocks that you're not aware of, those blocks in the body and the subconscious, it's a lot easier to do that stuff, because you're just trying to put icing on top of something that's garbage, basically. You've got to clear that garbage out first before you put something pretty on the top, and then it's more likely that you're going to actually get that.
That's a great analogy. I like that. Icing on top of garbage. Yeah, I like that very much so. Because again, we don't know, most of us, we have a logical mind that's having a conversation now, but there's a subconscious mind, and we just have no clue what's going on in there. Although it controls us, we don't know what's going on, do we? So it's very powerful. Very powerful.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Right. Next question. So, Shilleen, tell me, what kind of results should people expect after working with you?
They can expect more success, more income, and more action in the right places. So rather than doing all the busy work that's not getting you where you want to be, and the procrastination, actually doing the actions comfortably that are going to get you to where you really want to be, and taking action from an inspired, passionate place. Not from a place of fear, but from a place of empowerment. So I'll tell you about one of the clients I've recently worked with. She was trying to create a coaching business for a couple of years, 2 years straight, busy every day, busy, doing stuff, not getting to where she wanted to be, still no clients, still, not enough income coming into her household, and just not striving to get there, but not actually getting there. And working with myself, she actually managed to increase her income by $2,000 extra every month. And she
Wow.
did that within a couple of months. We were still working together. She did it during the time. So within a couple of months, $2,000 extra a month she brought in. She felt more comfortable, and it was just such a shift within her. She was quite, you know, a reserved person. She felt more confident, and she really was doing the things and just completely unapologetic about being congruent with her business and the success that she wanted and the level of money that she wanted as well. And it was just amazing to see.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's really impressive, very impressive. So that's the sort of thing that people, if they work with you, you know, they've got a very good expectation of getting something like that.
Exactly.
So Shilleen, that was a really amazing interview. I really enjoyed talking to you, and I'm sure so many people that are watching this would benefit from the services that you offer, because as we were saying, so many people, they have the business skills, but they don't always have the mindset. And some people don't even realize that they're stuck. As I said before, I think half the battle is realizing that something is going on with our psyche or our imagination or our thinking. We know there's something that's holding us back because we're doing all the hard work, but we're not getting results. I think that's half the battle. When people realize that they need help, they're halfway there, and then getting some external help from someone like yourself would really push them that, you know, to the 100% of the limit. So what would be the best way for people to get in touch with you if they wanted to, you know, engage you to help them?
They can get in touch on Instagram with me. You can find me at Success Breakthrough Coaching, and there's underscores in between each of the words. So Success Breakthrough Coaching with the underscores. You can also find me on Facebook, Shilleen Wilson, SHILLEN Wilson. And you can also find me under Shilleen Wilson on LinkedIn as well. So send me a DM, get in touch, and reach out and let me know that you've seen this interview. Well,
that's amazing. So everybody, I really encourage you to speak to Shilleen if you're getting stuck in your business. I think she's an amazing lady to help you. The details of her contact are going to be put into the description below the post here. So I encourage you to get in touch. So Shilleen, thank you very much for joining me today.
It's been Thanks for having me, Paul. Thank you.
I've really enjoyed talking to you. It's been really interesting. I think I've picked up a few tips myself. I'm sure we'll talk again. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye-bye.